Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into a document that might sound dry but is packed with hints about Quest Diagnostics Incorporated's future. You know, the company that helps doctors figure out what is going on inside us with lab tests. What is exciting is that they're presenting at a big healthcare conference, and we get to see what they'll be talking about. So let's decode this filing together. Alright, so this is a Form 8K filing. Think of it as a special announcement form that companies have to file when something really important happens that investors need to know about right away. This particular report is special because it's about the company's strategy, how they're performing, and what's happening in their industry, all being discussed at the 44th Annual JPM Healthcare Conference. The date here is the 12th of January 2026. This is when Quest Diagnostics Incorporated, or the company as they call it, is scheduled to speak at this major conference. They're going to talk about their game plan, how well they're doing, and the newest things happening in the healthcare and diagnostics market. This is the official name of our company for today. Quest Diagnostics is a big name in the lab testing world, operating across the United States and providing essential diagnostic information to doctors and patients. And this tells us where the company was officially formed, which is Delaware. Many companies, especially larger ones, incorporate there because of its business-friendly laws. This looks like an internal number Quest Diagnostics uses for its filings with the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC. It's like their specific account ID in the big government filing system. This is the company's employer identification number, or EIN. Essentially, it is their tax ID number issued by the Internal Revenue Service, or IRS. This is the main headquarters address for Quest Diagnostics. It's in Secaucus, New Jersey. This is part of their main phone number, so if you needed to call them about their corporate offices, you'd likely dial this area code and number. Here is a key bit for investors. This shows us that the company's stock, its ownership pieces that people can buy and sell, is registered on the New York Stock Exchange. The ticker symbol or the short code for their stock is DGX. This is a checkbox. If a company is considered an emerging growth company, meaning it is relatively new and smaller, it gets to follow some different rules. Quest Diagnostics is not checking this box, which tells us they are not considered an emerging growth company under these rules. They are a more established player. This section is usually where companies report important updates about how they are performing financially. But here, they are referencing another section, item 7.01, and saying that any information there, including an attached presentation, applies to this financial results section too. So, we need to go to item 7.01 to find the juicy details. This section is all about Regulation FD disclosure. Regulation FD for fair disclosure is a rule by the SEC that requires companies to share important non-public information with everyone at the same time. This prevents certain people from getting an unfair advantage. So whatever is discussed here is meant to be public information. So on the 12th of January 2026, Quest Diagnostics Incorporated, which they call the company, will be presenting at the 44th Annual JPM Healthcare Conference. This is a huge deal in the healthcare world, where big companies and investors gather to talk about the future of healthcare. They'll be discussing their strategy, how they're performing, and important trends affecting the market. What is really important here is that they are including the actual presentation materials they will use at the conference as an exhibit. This means we get to see exactly what they are telling these important people. These materials are incorporated by reference, which just means they are officially part of this filing. Now, this is a bit of legal nuance. The information they are providing here, and in the attached presentation, is not considered officially filed, in the same way other parts of their financial reports are. This means it doesn't automatically make them liable under certain sections of the law that deal with the accuracy of filed documents. However, it can be referenced in other future filings if they choose to do so. It is like saying, here is the info, but it is for discussion and context, not a formal report under these specific rules. This is a crucial warning, and you see it in almost every corporate filing. Any statements in their presentation that aren't about past events are considered forward-looking statements. This means they are predictions or expectations about the future. The company is telling you, don't take these as guarantees. Things can change. Our actual results might be very different. They list a lot of potential problems that could cause actual results to be different from what they are predicting. They go on to list many risks. This includes uncertain economic times, which we all know can impact businesses. They also mention potential government investigations, lawsuits, and tough competition in the lab testing business. Billing and getting paid for their services are complex, and changes in government policies, regulations. And even relationships with customers and suppliers can all affect them. They're basically saying that the path forward is not guaranteed and could be bumpy. This is the final section, and it lists what documents are attached to this report. The most important exhibit here is Exhibit 99.1, which is the presentation dated the 12th of January 2026. This is what we've been talking about. The material they'll use at the JPM conference. It likely contains the core of the information they want to share about their business. Exhibit 104 is just the cover page formatted in a special electronic way called inline XBRL. This makes it easier for computers and software to read and analyze the data. And finally, we have the signature block. This confirms that the report has been authorized and submitted by the company. Sean D. Merston, who is the Vice President and Corporate Secretary, has signed off on this filing, indicating it is official. Now, looking at Quest Diagnostics filing on their presentation at the JP Morgan Healthcare Conference, it's not a detailed financial report like a 10K or 10Q. Instead, it is a heads up to the market about what they will be discussing. They are essentially giving investors and analysts a preview of their strategic direction, current performance, and market outlook. The company is highlighting its participation in a major industry event. This signals that they are confident in sharing their progress and future plans. Given that they're speaking at a conference focused on healthcare, their presentation will likely revolve around the growth drivers in diagnostic testing, any new technologies or services they are introducing, and how they are navigating the complex healthcare landscape. We can infer they will be talking about their competitive position and any advantages they hold over other players in the market. They've included a disclaimer about forward-looking statements, which is standard practice. This means while they will probably paint an optimistic picture of their strategy and performance, it's important to remember that these are projections, not guarantees. The risks they mention, like economic volatility and regulatory changes, are very real in the healthcare sector. For a company like Quest Diagnostics, reimbursement rates from insurance and government programs, as well as the ongoing need for advanced diagnostics, are key factors influencing their financial health. While this specific filing doesn't give us the raw financial numbers, it tells us that Quest Diagnostics is actively communicating its value proposition to key stakeholders. It suggests a focus on growth and innovation, and a desire to reassure investors about their strategic vision. The fact that they are presenting at such a prominent conference implies a strong underlying performance or a compelling future outlook they wish to share. Investors should pay close attention to the actual presentation materials, Exhibit 99.1, when they become available, as that's where the specific details of their strategy and performance narrative will be found. Overall, Quest Diagnostics seems to be positioning itself as a forward-thinking leader in the diagnostic space. The strength of their strategy and performance will be determined by the details in their presentation, but their active engagement in high-profile events like the JP Morgan conference indicates a commitment to transparency and growth. The key risks for them will always involve navigating complex healthcare regulations and economic pressures, but their established presence suggests resilience. Alright, that is our breakdown of this Quest Diagnostics filing. What is your take on what this type of disclosure signals for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribe for more corporate deep dives. Don't forget to check out our Discord community linked in the description for more discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Corporate Decoder.